Hello and welcome to Lovely English Stories. Thank you for stopping by. This story is written for intermediate English learners. Ready? Let's get started. B1, B2 English story. The Property Ladder. I recently bought a house in a beautiful British village. It's quite a change from where I lived previously. It's serene and semi-rural. Everyone knows each other. The village is quaint and has its own butcher shop, fruit and veg shop, post office, and takeaway. It's ideal. I'm always getting itchy feet and find it hard to stay in one place for a considerable amount of time. But I think I'd like to stay in the village for the foreseeable future. Buying a house was a huge commitment for me. I felt like it meant I was stuck and I wouldn't be able to escape. But I soon realized that isn't the case at all. Even though I am now paying off a mortgage in order to own my house, that doesn't mean that I can't do other things. As long as I am careful with my money and budget accordingly, I can still afford to do fun things. The house needs some renovations. I have to get it rewired, as the electrics are quite old. I'm also going to get some double glazed windows to try and help with the heating costs. In the room, there is a large open fire. It's stunning. It will work wonders in the winter. The kitchen is quite old-fashioned, but I like the style of it, so I won't change it for now. Upstairs, there are two bedrooms and a small bathroom. I can't wait to have friends over to stay. The house is just down the road from a popular local pub that has quiz nights. I've even considered getting a little part-time job there so I can meet some of the locals. Getting on the property ladder felt like the next logical step for me if I wanted to remain relatively financially stable. Isn't adult life tough sometimes? I always thought I'd be in a different place than where I am now, but then again, I wouldn't change anything. I am healthy, happy, and free. I tried to buy a house a few years ago, and it fell through. Now I'm glad it did. At the time, I was devastated because I thought it was my dream home. It was a very cool apartment in the city centre with a rooftop terrace overlooking the city skyline. It was close to all the popular bars, shops, and restaurants. That was exactly what I wanted back then, but now I crave the peace and quiet of the village. I love to dip in and out of the city and have a safe and peaceful sanctuary to return to at the end of a long day. Everything happens for a reason, and I wasn't meant to have that apartment, no matter how gutted I felt at the time. It's taken me months to find my new home. I must have viewed well over 20 properties along the way. I looked at terraced houses, cottages, flats, bungalows, everything. Sometimes you just know what feels right when you walk through the door, and you have to go with your gut instinct. I tried not to get carried away too. It's easy to think a property is worth more than it is, and then hike up loads of debt. I had to keep calm and trust that my new home would eventually come along, and it has. I am forever grateful. The buying process has been stressful. There's so much paperwork to do, not to mention the worry that it could fall through at any given moment. But luckily, everything went swimmingly, and now I'm busy choosing my soft furnishings, planning how I want to landscape the garden, and getting to know my lovely new neighbours. Getting on the property ladder has taken longer than I expected, but I wouldn't change it for the world. If you could buy any type of property, what would you choose? Now, let's go through some of the advanced vocabulary from the story first, and then we'll go through some of the intermediate vocabulary. Crave. To crave. To crave is to have a very strong feeling of wanting something. You can crave a holiday, or sweets, or a person. Instinct. Instinct is the way people or animals naturally react or behave without having to think about it. Foreseeable. Foreseeable is as far into the future as you can imagine or plan for. Devastated. If you are devastated, you are completely destroyed or very upset. Renovate. To renovate. To renovate is to repair and improve a building so that it is in good condition again. Stable. If something is stable, it is firmly fixed or not likely to move or change. Quaint. If something is quaint, it is attractive because of being unusual and especially old fashioned. Itchy feet. This idiom means to start to want to travel or to do something different. If you are getting itchy feet, then you are normally getting bored of your situation. To fall through. This phrasal verb means to fail to happen. So if a house sale falls through, then it doesn't happen. Something has gone wrong. Property ladder, the name of the story. Now, a property ladder is a series of stages in owning a house. So you will start off small at the bottom of the ladder and work your way up to a bigger or more expensive house when you have more money. Now, let's go through some intermediate vocabulary. Budget. A budget is a plan of your money and the amount of money you have available to spend. Commitment. A commitment is a promise or a firm decision to do something. Debt. Debt is something, usually or especially money, that is owed to someone else or the state of owing something. To overlook. To overlook is to provide a view of something, especially from above. It can also mean to check over things. Paperwork. Paperwork is the written records connected with a particular job, trip, house, or event. Relatively. Relatively means quite good or bad in comparison with something else. Stunning. If someone or something is stunning, then they are extremely beautiful or attractive. Tough. If someone or something is tough, then they are strong and not easily broken or made weaker. Considerable. Considerable means large or of noticeable importance. To consider. To consider something is to spend time thinking about it and making a decision. So, for example, someone might say, "Do you want to go out for dinner?" And you could say, "Oh, I'll consider it," which means I'll think about it. To afford. To afford is to be able to buy or do something because you have enough money or time. Remain. To remain means to stay in the same place or in the same condition. And the opposite of that is to escape. So to escape means to go away or get free from something or to avoid something. We hope you enjoyed this lovely English story and the vocabulary explanations. Thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Get productive and check out our language learning productivity packs and stories on Etsy. Use code YouTube10 for 10% off. You can find the link in the description box below. See you soon!